Greetings, good people. Girl. The internet people is saying that all of these ladies on the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta are in jeopardy of being recasted. Okay, so it's being reported that there is a reboot in the works and production wants fresh new peaches. Okay, now listen, when Nene said it, y'all said that she was bitter. Now that everyone else is saying it, y'all want to listen. And what do I mean by that? Well, Bravo ain't listening and they are not sticking to what works, in my opinion. And all of that, in my opinion, falls on production. And this is what Nene was trying to say, among other things. Anyway, like I said, it's being reported that the current cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta could possibly be given the boot. Now, this is according to Love B. Scott, okay? Bravo is attempting a reboot. And I honestly could believe it because season 15 was, for lack of a better word, trash. And Bravo, they know it. All right. So let's get into this article. This is courtesy of Love B. Scott. All right. The article goes into saying, all right, a source close to production, it's always a source close to production, tells Love B. Scott that Bravo is beyond thrilled with the reception of the recently rebooted Real Housewives of New York. So they're fully on board with production's decision to recast Real Housewives of Atlanta. The network is also pleased with the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Okay. Casting for fresh new peaches is already underway. Okay. This is exclusively being reported by Love B. Scott. So they're saying that they were told that production has been quietly reaching out to managers and agents looking for new girls. So there's no interest in bringing back any old faces, not Portia, not Kim Zolciak. Now, you notice they didn't mention Nene, right? We already know that that's not going to happen. And I've said in previous reviews, okay, it's been a long time since I talked about these RHOA girls, but in previous reviews, I have stated emphatically that I like Nene's character, but I don't think it's a good idea for her to even consider going back to Housewives of Atlanta, and she doesn't need it. Anyway, let's continue on with this article. While production is looking for all new peaches, it is possible that one or two peaches stick around as friends, similar to the revamped Real Housewives of Miami. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody needs to stick around. Like this. I just feel like this cast has run its course, and any remnants of old can kind of taint new and fresh. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so it says, the article says it all depends on how casting goes. It's possible that RHOA could go on a brief hiatus to give them extra time to get casting just right. Wowzers. Okay, so you guys, if you follow Kenya on social media, I did see where Kenya posted images from her daughter's birthday party where she stated that that scene was cut out. She wasn't pleased with production. Fans have been saying that production has been lacking. It's just a lot. And maybe production is listening to the fans. So I actually don't know. All right. Yeah, Kenya, she recently sat down with Carlos King and she was very vocal about certain things that she was not pleased with, right? So she did an interview, Carlos King, and she stated, she said, be careful what you ask for. And that was in regards to fans saying that the show needs a reboot. A lot of commentators, a lot of fans, social media users have been saying they need to recast everyone. I thought that they should kind of just wrap it up at the beginning of this season. I watched a couple of episodes and I'm like, yeah, it's time for them to wrap it up. Now, Kenya and Love B. Scott are close. I think they're still close, right? And she has given him exclusive info in the past, allegedly, of course. We don't know that to be true. It's just an assumption. Now, are we surprised about this reboot rumor? I'm not. I would like to see new cast members. That totally makes sense to me. I don't want to see forced or manufactured storylines either. And that seems to be the theme these last couple of years. They try to be as authentic, I guess, as possible, but it's given scripted reality TV. Okay. Again, these ladies have been on the show long enough to be able to further their individual brands, in my opinion. And it's just time, They're not bringing Nene back. They're not bringing Portia. They ain't bringing Phaedra. They've gotten over it. And I think that us as the viewing audience, we need to kind of get over the idea of bringing old faces back. I think we should just move on, right? I just don't think that Bravo can afford another season of low ratings. So what do they really have to lose by revamping the entire cast? A lot of people are no longer watching anyway, right? The ratings are they plummeted significantly. So if they plan on keeping the exact same production team, in my opinion, then this will all be a waste of time, because I think a lot of the problem is production. You know, they just need good staff. They need people who understand the direction of the show. The show has to have a direction. Even though Carlos King is no longer affiliated with Bravo, I do think Carlos King was good at his job. He had a passion for what he did, and he kind of cultivated a relationship with the ladies to some degree. I think he understood the women. So, I mean, if there's not going to be a connection between production, the audience, production, the cast, all of that has to kind of sync, harmoniously. So, like I said, if they plan on keeping the same production, then this all going to be this revamp, reboot, whatever you want to call it, is all going to be a waste of time, in my opinion. So I think that Bravo's version of reality TV now has a lot of competition now, especially more than they did like when these shows first started. You have the Zeus Network style television taking over, because the traditional style of reality TV has become boring and forced. That's what I see from RHOA. It's just boring. It's absolutely boring. And those of us who have been watching since season 1, episode 1 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Heck, myself, the first franchise was the Housewives, the OC Housewives. I started watching the Housewives franchise from the very beginning with the OC Housewives. So it's just changed. I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, it's lost its authenticity, like I said before, and this is something that they need to get back to. They need to start from scratch. They can hire an all new set of women, for a fraction of the cost too, now that I think about it. Because going into season 16, you guys know good and well, Candy is the highest paid housewife in all of the franchises. They're gonna have to drop a bag on Candy. And Kenya too, she's tenured. Sheree, I don't know who's the third highest paid housewife on the Atlanta cast. Sheree would be third, right? But, that could also be an incentive to recast, budget cuts. You guys know, with the writer's strike, it's a lot going on. The economy is all over the place. They could be trying to cut costs. I don't know. But like I said, I know that they would have to drop a bag on Kenya and Candy, especially because they're Kenya's second, Candy's first highest paid for the Atlanta Housewives franchise. So I'm sure they'll probably, rather hire cheap labor, no shade, than have to pay the tenured girls, especially after the low ratings. Like, if they're not getting a return on their investment, why are they going to continue to increase their pay, and the ratings are plummeting, and it's just not working. So when they're recasting, if this is true and they completely do a recast, I don't think they should keep one or two. I'm not petitioning for anybody to lose their job, right? But I just feel like if you keep one or two, it's, like I said, it's still going to have remnants of old. So I think that a fresh new bunch of women should be given the opportunity. And when recasting, I hope that they realize that mean girl energy BS is not going to work amongst a group of women that are supposed to be dignified, accomplished, and rich. Like, we already have many variations of love and hip hop. Get back to the basics, okay? If we wanted to watch love and hip hop, we would watch love and hip hop. That's not what Housewives started out as, okay? In my opinion, like, this season really has been a waste of my DVR space. I will be tuned in all the way for the reunion. I think there are two parts. September 3rd is part 1. It's going to be airing on Bravo, so I'm definitely going to be tuned in. I'm pretty sure that the reunion is probably going to be the highlight of the season, right? And that's sad. Like, I've skipped over so many episodes. It's just, I think an overhaul needs to be done, like a complete renovation need. I'm not against that. I'm really not against that. So the ladies, they've gotten a lot of press, promotion, fame. I just feel like they all can go out and do their thing. Their brands are strong enough for them to go out and do their thing. I want fresh, new faces. All right. All right. So that's it. That's all I got. Drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. I'll talk to you later.